Good morning and welcome to FYI. For your information, it is Thursday, the 14th day of November. We're almost halfway through, folks. That very important meeting between President Irfaan Ali of Guyana and President Nicolás Maduro of Venezuela goes down today in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and all eyes are on this meeting. What is going to be the outcome of this meeting? Lots of thoughts percolating out there. We're going to try to bring you some of that this morning. But good to see each and every one of you on the live. We're broadcasting from Georgetown in Guyana, the national capital city, live. Folks, we are live from the national capital city in Georgetown. And we're so thankful for all of you who are joining us this morning. As we say each and every day, we'll say it this morning again. So come on, share the live, smash that emoji button for us, and partner with us as well. Just yesterday in the city, I saw a gentleman passing and he was giving me a shout out. He said, share the live, share the live, share the live. I'm so happy. We know it by heart. We got to put it into practice though. We got to put it into practice. Wherever you're joining us from this morning, welcome to our broadcast. So good to see so many of you out there. Wherever you're coming in from this morning, great to have each and every one of you on the live, whichever page on Facebook you're joining us from. Some of you might even be joining us on LinkedIn. Some of you on the tube, our favorite place. Welcome home, our tubers. And those of you who are joining us on Facebook, good to see you all too. Twitter, those of you joining us from the Twitterverse, good to see you. Desiree Manuel, Donna Joseph, wherever you rocking and coming from this morning, rock and come in. Welcome to our broadcast. For your information, Godfrey Montaigne and Margaret Nelson is here. Great to see each and every one of you, wherever you're joining us from this morning. Great to have all of you on the live. You know how we see it, folks. We're on the live. Siobhan McDonald and Godfrey, Margaret, as I said. Beatrice Selby. Beatrice, how you doing? Good to have you, Beatrice. This side of the Atlantic. Siobhan McDonald. Hazel Jackman is with us as well. Good morning. Good morning. Hazel is joining us on the live, folks. She's joining us on the tube. Yeah, we love our tubers. We love our tubers. Good to have all of you this morning. As you come on, folks, share that live, smash that emoji button. We are taking you out to the East Bank, folks. That's where we're coming in from this morning. This is that recently opened portion of the East Bank from Eccles to Diamond. This is the Eccles roundabout, I think it is. I want to thank the folks who make these images possible for us. This is the Eccles roundabout. And I think they've dedicated this Eccles to Diamond portion as Heroes Highway. That's what they call it. Share the live, good folks. Wanda Hudson joining us from Texas. Texas in the house. Wenda says Texas supporting. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Wenda. Sylvia Allen is here with us as well. And we got Debbie Collins. Debbie says, I've now arrived. I've now come. You touched down, Debs. Good to have you on the live this morning. Keyboard Hope. Or Keyboard Hope. Good to have you. Good to have you on the live too. Lyndon Gale and Jacqueline and all the other folks. Lionel Simon. Is it me? Lionel says no sound. Lionel says no sound. Is it so? Lionel, we got sound at our end. What's happening at your end? Alexis Charmley Richmond. Yeah, there it is, folks. And this portion of this new extension has been dedicated to our 5 fallen soldiers. Thank you. That's a better view of the roundabout, folks. A better view of the roundabout. You know, and there's that one Guyana phrase that some of us don't like so much. We like the motto we have already. One people, one nation, one destiny. We like that motto we have already. But good to see so many of you on the live. Everett Leonard, thank you for letting us know loud and clear. So if you're not hearing us, that's something at your end. Lionel Simon, there's Isaac Grimzani, thank you so much. Letting us know loud and clear. Loud and clear. Thank you for letting us know. And Deborah Pearson, Anaya, Kingston, we see you there, Anaya. Onessa Ward Dean and Carl Jacobs, all the other folks who are joining us. Debbie Collins, of course, not forgetting Margaret Nelson, Elizabeth Norine, Raymond Norine, wherever you're rocking and coming from. We're happy that all of you on the live this morning. Wenda and Yolanda, good to have you. Dolly Anderson, Warren Figueroa says loud and clear from Long Island. If Warren could hear us loud and clear from Long Island, well then, good. I don't talk. Folks, we bringing you some shots of the new East Bank extension. This is the Eccles to Diamond. I think it is. Eccles to Diamond. This new extension. The first portion was open from the, this is what, Mandela Avenue to Eccles. And then this new portion now from Eccles to Diamond. And I think we should get Diamond to Busby Dam, Craig. That's the other portion. Diamond to Busby Dam, Craig. That's the other portion they tell us they are working on. And we can keep them honest with how taxpayers' dollars are spent. You know, I think they said this portion cost $13 billion. We're watching it. We're watching it, folks. That's one of the reasons why we need the Public Accounts Committee to meet so we can scrutinize the spending appropriately. That's why we need the Parliament to meet as well, so that we can have correct policies in place of how our monies are spent, and where and how, and if they're spent. Folks, good to see each and every one of you. Debbie Collins, Sabrina Blue, I think we're about to pass Debbie's house. Somewhere around here. You take a turn, you left, you go through straight, you take a back street, and so, Evelina Whitaker, we see you on the live this morning, and Edward and Sabrina Blue and Reggae Vibes, we see you as well. You see, we just wanted to start on a light note because we can get some heavy issues we're heading to. Just wanted to start you guys off on a light note. A light note. Some shots of the East Bank, folks. Some shots of the East Bank as we start this morning. Good to have each and every one of you on the live. Good to have Winella Garnett here, Beryl and Sophia Richards. Asha. Good to see you, Asha. Crystal is here as well, and all the other beautiful folks joining us this morning. Starting you guys on a light note. Bringing it back to HQ. Bring it back to HQ, folks. Starting you folks on a light note. Good to see each and every one of you, Crystal and all the other folks on the live this morning. We got Victoria Singh and Veronica Primo Rollins, Vesta Hardy, Amanda Kendall. Good to have each and every one of you with us, folks, this morning. As we begin, last to discuss that big meeting, folks, is going down in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Vesta and Margaret. Yep. Margaret says she's loving this new highway, two-way. Yeah. We gotta work for the people of this country. We gotta work, you see, and make sure that every cent is correctly accounted for. That's part of the work of the opposition. Every cent must be correctly and rightly accounted for. Sandra Hanover, good to see you on the live this morning. Mark Moses, Gilali Cock, and all the other folks joining us. Gotta keep them honest. Good to see you, Lawrence Storr. Folks, welcome to our broadcast. For your information, we did say it's the 14th day of December. We should have been meeting in the National Assembly today, but that sitting has been postponed. We made to understand that so many of them have gone overseas. I can't assume they've gone to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I hope they're going to give Irfaan some backup. But we heard so many of the government officials are overseas. Couldn't have parliament today. Could not have parliament today. Margaret says she hopes the new highway holds up. But we hope so too. Glenford, we hope so too. Donna Joseph, we hope so. We hope it holds up. Good to have each and every one of you. Carlton Smith and the others on the live this morning. Yep, lots to discuss. And this is what we saw Mr. Aubrey Norton, leader of the opposition, leader of the People's National Congress Reform, say in the National Assembly on Monday, it is our sincere hope, he said, that the summit will result in peace. That's what we all want as Guyanese. Because you'll hear a little later on in the broadcast, a lot of folks don't think much is going to come out of this meeting. But if anything comes out of it, Venezuela got to lessen this aggressive push. Aggressive push. That's a Kamal. This aggressive stance. They got to tone down a little bit. And so that is part of what we heard the leader of the opposition say in his presentation in the National Assembly just on Monday. Wouldn't that be good if Venezuela behaved itself? Michael Reed, Veronica Primo rallied, if they catch themselves, Debbie Collins, Kyle. Wouldn't that be great? Tone down this rhetoric. Please and thank you. Everett Leonard, Annette, dial it back a little bit. We can be hopeful, can't we? Can't we, folks? The leader of the opposition asked for a number of other things. This is the leader of the opposition in the National Assembly. Just on Monday, very hopeful that peace is one of the things that comes out of this. Rena Dolphin, Belford Garden. Take a look, folks. Take a listen.
Mr. Speaker, I want to turn to the resolution we passed in this assembly. It says, supports the government in the pursuit to ensure a peaceful and lawful resolution of the controversy before the International Court of Justice and reject the proposal to return to any form of dialogue with Venezuela on the controversy outside of the process before the courts. And so we agree to that position. It is in that context when I spoke with the president, I said to him that we agree that there should be an engagement that is aimed at bringing peace and de-escalating the conflict. We believe we were on good ground and we continue to be on good ground. We are encouraged by what Dr. Sir Sridhar Ramphal, a doyen of diplomacy in the Guyana world, he said, and I quote, "There was no call for any discussion on the Venezuela controversy over the Essequibo region of Guyana. We want to state here and now that we expect whatever discussions to occur should not involve the Venezuela-Guyana territorial controversy. In fact, we indicated that you can focus on bilateral issues." Mr. Speaker, it is our sincere hope that the summit will result in peace. Mr. Speaker.
Yeah, there was the leader of the opposition hoping peace on earth. Peace remains in our zone of peace. This side of the Atlantic, this side of the Caribbean Sea, peace. Yeah, can be hopeful. It's our sincere hope that peace will result. Good morning, folks, and welcome to our broadcast. If you're just joining us, we're talking about some of the sentiments expressed by the leader of the opposition, the Right Honorable Mr. Aubrey Norton, leader of the People's National Congress Reform. What are you guys having for breakfast this morning as we start the day? We hope your day is off to a fantastic, fired up start, especially those of you joining us from the cold. Margaret, how is the weather where you are? Claire Alexis, Chomley, how are things at your end? And all the other folks joining us in the diaspora, especially up north. Those folks joining in Canada, who I haven't seen a little bit on the name popping by. Selena out of Ottawa. Selena, if you're on the live this morning, do let us know. What's for breakfast at your end, good folks? Peace. That's the right way to start the day. Start the day with peace, Naomi. Some of us start the day rowing. Go to bed vexed, you wake up vexed. Peace, peace on earth. Peace between Venezuela and Guyana. Goodwill towards all men. Glenford said he got some toast bread and tea. Things have championed. Janessa Marcus says it's rain in Seattle. Yeah, rain in Seattle. Lawrence Stahl says fast and pray. Fast and pray. Margaret says, woke up at 40 degrees. On my walk, it's warming up to 49. I'm thankful for that, Margaret. I'm thankful for that. Yeah. 40 degrees. This is Somerset. Somerset there up north. Elizabeth Howard says it's cold in Queens. My Lord. You know, I promised long. I want to take a Christmas up north, but like a frightened. Like a frightened, folks. Like a frightened. Christmas up north. Never see, come for see. Sending you guys some warmth from the tropics, some cyber warmth, folks. Sending some your way. But you know your boy got run out. You know your boy got to come out. Vice President of Guyana, for the folks who picking us up in places like Venezuela. Can't assume the only folks watching us is Guyanese. We won't assume. So this is the Vice President of Guyana. He has to say something, folks. You're familiar with the term patsa? Huh? Or when Don Cook says, I'm in Jersey this morning, I'm in New Jersey, and it's cold as hell. My Lord, go with God. Or when Don, go with God. Veronica Primo Rollins says it's 42 degrees in Georgia. Is that cold? Asking for myself. Is it cold? Vashti Pollard, we see you on the live as well. And Desiree Manuel, 42 degrees. Is that cold? Kyle Bino says it's cold in Vermont. The sun is out, but it's still cold. Wow. Make the best of it. Make the best of it. DJ Hope Chung says Connecticut is 28 degrees. Wow. 33 degrees in Brooklyn. Dan Mitchell, thanks for that. 33 degrees in Brooklyn. Right? Margaret says, I would love to be a fly on the wall in St. Vincent. For the warmth or for the meeting? For the warmth of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, a lot of folks fly out. As I said, we can't assume all of the Guyanese ministers and members of parliament who are absent today, hence the postponement of that sitting. We can't assume they're all in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. They've been doing a lot of flying these days. He's been doing a lot of flying. Tracy Clark says he's like front page. Margaret clarifies. On a point of clarification, Margaret says it's the meeting. She wants to be a fly on the wall. The Vice President of Guyana, he's assuring us that nothing will be done in St. Vincent and the Grenadines SVG to compromise the ICJ process. We're hopeful. We don't go into the meeting with one intention. And by the time we leave, Venezuela get a channel. Is you wanted to give a channel again? We're hopeful. Because you know things is start one way. Right? Things is start one way. And then boom.
You could probably, on the maritime area, give Venezuela a channel out to the sea. So you make a slight concession in the maritime area. You could probably, on the maritime area, give Venezuela a channel out to the sea. So you make a slight concession in the maritime area.
Like I said, don't know where that came from. Blast from the past. Like I said, we're hopeful that we don't go into this meeting on one premise, one agreement, that this matter is the matter of the Guyana-Venezuela border controversy is rightfully before the International Court of Justice, the ICJ. And then by the time we coming out, Nicolás Maduro got a channel. We hope. We hope. Right? Especially you carry a big contingent like that for backup. Big contingent like that for backup. We hope. Right? Because the channel is supposed to be there as well. I think he's taking a private jet out to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The channel is going. So who knows, folks? Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. And some toes. Got some toes. Coil up here too. Rats Ricardo, Margaret Nelson, Everett Leonard. We're hopeful. Fingers crossed. And some toes as well. We're hopeful. We're hopeful. They said they will do nothing to compromise the ICJ process. We hope. Because Venezuela letting up, you know. Even think he's going to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, is the president of Guyana, Irfaan Ali, to discuss the weather. He's going there to discuss pageantry. He's going there to discuss something else. But Nicolás Maduro, he wants to talk about Essequibo. Big shout out to all the folks joining us from the Essequibo this morning. Ossie Anderson, Ossie Adams, look, I'm renaming you now. Ossie Adams, Lynn Fernandez. Maduro wants to talk about how he can get his filthy, greasy paws on the Essequibo. And we told just recently, in their budget, there's an allocation there for the annexation of Essequibo. So I hope that in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, that historic, I see that word being bandied about, could be an epic meeting. I hope the whole strain and whatever obia they're coming with from Caracas, that backfire. That it backfire. So that's what they're telling us, that Venezuela brazenly, this is a headline today, brazenly passes its 2024 budget with an allocation to annex Essequibo. Right? In their National Assembly not postponing. They have a heavy legislative agenda, and they're pursuing that. Their speaker not postponing Parliament, not postponing the sitting of their National Assembly. They're misguided, clearly, because we know this thing, Essequibo, established, full, final, complete, done, punto final, since 1899. We know that. Nicolás Maduro knows that. But see, he has an election to win. Peggy Lyons, good to see you on the live this morning. How is the weather where you are, Peggy? Ras Ricardo, come on, Pasa. Come on, how's the weather your end? He has an election to win. He has some people to keep riled up. Forbes, he's doing what he's got to do. Their National Assembly not postponing. Good morning to the Speaker of the Guyana National Assembly. Mansour Nadir, good morning to you. Mansour could be on a flight right now, for all we know. Mansour, he is the most flown speaker, not in Guyana, in the world. In the world. I'd love to, if I show you his itinerary for the last year. He is a globetrotter, a frequent flyer. Angola, Mozambique, Turks and Caicos, New York, Singapore, Chatarati. That's not a country, the last one. They're not postponing their sitting of their National Assembly to do foolishness and to produce nonsense. But we who know the truth We ain't got time with that. We don't have time with that. But I hope Maduro knows. Tracy Clark, those who know the will of the Lord and they do it not. Good book says you can be beaten with many stripes. Many stripes. And I'm happy that France, quite recently, in a telephone call with President Irfaan, President of Guyana, reaffirmed France's commitment. Right? Reaffirmed France's commitment and telling Venezuela, refrain from annexing the Essequibo. And this is France's foreign secretary, who was on the other end of the line with Irfaan. Refrain from annexing the Essequibo. The National Assembly, the legislative assembly, legislative arm in Caracas has been busy. We met once and far in between. Two ministers went to some schools, talked about the controversy, and that's the end of public education. That's the end of it. That's the end of it. Thank you, France. I am so happy for those folks who are sticking with us, sticking by us. Thank you, France. It's in these times you know who your real friends are. It's in times like these. You bust a shot for your real friends in these times. So thank you so much, France. Thank you so much. And just last evening, we showed you another broadcast. Alan Chastanet, the opposition leader there in St. Lucia, taking the government to task on this very issue. We also show you Moses Shane Barrow, the opposition leader there in Belize, doing much the same. I'm thankful for the folks who are standing with us. Thankful for the folks who are standing strong with us. Thank you, France. Thank you. Look at some of what the leader of the opposition there in St. Lucia said on this very issue.
Is an embarrassment. It's a simple statement. Very, very, very simple statement. Venezuela is wrong. There's an ongoing court case. You cannot all of a sudden unilaterally decide that you're going to take over a piece of land while you're still in court. And this government wants to say, well, Maduro's my friend. My friend? I'd have thought when the government of St. Lucia went down to Venezuela a couple of weeks ago, they actually would have gone by boat and brought food with them to help out the people in Venezuela. Venezuela is a disaster when it comes to its economy. It is a complete failed state. And then for leaders of CARICOM to say they're going to have a meeting, I agree with Sonny Ramphal. A meeting to discuss what? It's in court. All Venezuela has to be told is that you need to cease and desist what you're doing because it's disrupting and jeopardizing a zone of peace in our region. And it's undermining the rule of law. And all we want to know is that both sides are prepared to accept whatever the outcome of the courts are.
Yeah, cease and desist. That's what leader of the opposition there in St. Lucia says. Alan Chastanet, cease and desist. Thank you, France. Thank you, Alan. Thanks, Shane, there in Belize. Cease and desist. That's all. Not much. Forbes, Trinity Jackson. Small fries. Small fries. Interesting letter to the editor. I think this is by Mr. Bisram. Is it? Vishnu Bisram. And part of what he's adding to this discussion, maybe it's time for a new foreign policy. What is the People's Progressive Party, the party in government in Guyana? What's their foreign policy? And here is one of the guys who back them a lot. Vishnu Bisram, he says it's time to construct a new foreign policy. Yep, that is what times like this do, you know. You see exactly what you got and what you don't have. You see exactly who with you and who not standing with you. Not standing with you, not standing with you. Like Mia Motley, like Dr. Keith Rowley of Trinidad, Mia Motley of Barbados. You know exactly what you have. Remember how COVID laid us bare and showed us how exposed we were? Not only as a country, how exposed we were. It's time like these. So Mr. Ram says, it's time to construct a new foreign policy. Foreign policy can't be whatever you wake up and feel any given day. No. You have to have a construct. How does Ghana view the world? How does she view her neighbors? Mr. Ram said it's time to construct a new foreign policy. That's what he says. That's the truth right there. Listen to part of what he reasons in this letter to the editor. With limited international relations resources at our disposal, hold on. Let's take a pin right there. And halfway in the first sentence. With limited international relations resources at our disposal, at home, and our mission abroad, you mean 3 years in, it's still limited? You mean all those persons who have been pulled from assignment, career diplomats, professional people at foreign affairs, pulled from all those missions around the world and reassigned? Huh? You mean we still got limited international relations resources? Or the resources we have not being put to ample use because we favor friends, family favorites, and flatterers? Is that the case? So Mr. Ram says, with limited international resources, international relations resources at our disposal at home and our missions abroad, we have done relatively well over the last few months to rally support on our side on the border controversy. He goes on to say, foreign policy has not been a strong point of governments since Burnham. He really mean the PPP. The People's Progressive Party Civic. Who in government? That's what Vishnu Bishram says in this morning's papers. Foreign policy has not been the strong point of governments since Burnham. A praise for Burnham. Wow. This is new. An accolade for President Forbes Burnham. Wow. He was strong on foreign policy. I thought everything Burnham was bad. Please, Vishnu Bishram, don't go on Freddie's show and say that. Freddie would ask you to leave. Freddie would ask you to leave. Would ask you to leave. Don't do it. Foreign policy has not been a strong point of governments since Burnham. Wow. It took this tension to bring out the truth. Something's got to do it. Took this tension. Guyana on top. Guyana on top wants to know if you as an MP or a YouTuber. Both. Why you have got to be exclusive? Why you couldn't do both? Why you got to be an MP or a YouTuber? Which is it? It's both. Plus other things. Plus other caps. I'm a husband, as a father, or I just got to be an MP. As a brother, as a friend, or I just got to be an MP. We got to learn to walk and chew gum. Barack Obama, quote unquote. Got to learn to walk and chew gum at the same time. Naomi Drucker, Eva Juna, Camille Cox, and for the questionnaire, you two. And it comments, Astrid Anderson. What am I talking about here? Knitting? Isn't that politics I'm talking here? I'm not talking about his sewing. They got some real people in this world, you know. They got some real people in this world, right? And as a fast booker too. As a fact booker. As well. as a fact booker. Time to construct a new foreign policy. Like a Dancing with the Stars here. I'm dancing with the stars here. That's what Bishram says. Now, we have been too good in foreign policy since born. Folks, David Granger, this is a working foreign policy. Professionalizing the foreign service. You're not friends, family, and favorites. Bishram has to ask, why is somebody like Ruslinda Rasool at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs heading a whole department? A political hack, no experience in foreign policy. She heading a whole department at Foreign Affairs. Enter Robert Prasad. What are he doing at Foreign Affairs? What are he doing at Foreign Affairs? Huh? You ever wonder? Ralph Ramkaran, a decent gentleman. We might disagree politically on one or two things. Decent. You know, fairly decent. He had foreign affairs too. On border issues. You see, we are the professional people. We are the professional people. You see, learned recently, young professional diplomat in our foreign services. A foreign affairs professional, dragged back from Canada, an assignment in Canada, posted there 6 months, took the whole family, of course, as you know they can, kids in school, you know, settling in for the tour. Some people don't like them. Some friend, family, favorite, and flatterer don't like them. Whisper something in Irfaan ears, and then you got a one-way flight back to Georgetown. Nobody tells you if you did something wrong, an act or an omission, a failure to act, but you're on a flight back to Georgetown. You got to pull your children out of school, this, that. Things you bought, you got to sell now, and all manner of things. And you got some square pegs and round holes in foreign affairs. And the professional people being put to the side. Of course, you got to construct a new foreign policy. Their foreign policy, like everything else, friends, family, favorites, and flatterers. Flatterers. Me as a flatterer. Big hug up and smooch up, rub up and photograph, exhibition. And then when you really need Mia, Venezuela has been a brother to us. Venezuela has been a brother to us. She's a flatterer. Flatterer. Telling you everything you want to hear. Everything. Warren Figuera says Ambassador George Talbot should be leading the foreign services. Should be leading it. Good morning to you joining us from YouTuber Sherry Duncan. Good morning. Welcome. Welcome. Please and thank you. From this YouTuber to all the YouTubers watching us. Welcome. So that's what Bishram is saying this morning. And then there's an interesting column. You know, we look all over the place. We fast. We all over looking for valid, credible information. Peepin' Tom this morning has an interesting column. Peepin' Tom, like lots of us, talking about possible outcomes of this meeting. Possible outcomes of this meeting in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And Peepin' Tom column is found in Kaitro News, Kaitro newspapers in Guyana. And here's what he said in part of this article, part of this column. One should not expect too much from the talks which are likely to take place today in St. Vincent and the Grenadines between President Maduro of Venezuela and Irfaan Ali of Guyana. Both sides have adopted entrenched positions that could lead to the meeting being at best unproductive or worse, being cancelled. Being cancelled. in another section of this column, Peeping Tom, Peeping in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the area in which the most progress is likely to be made, says Peeping Tom, is in the de-escalation of the tension. And that was what the leader of the opposition was saying. Peace, de-escalation of the tension. There's a strong possibility, Peeping Tom says, that both sides can be encouraged to tone down the rhetoric, since this can inflame tensions and lead to a breach of the peace. Tone down the rhetoric, de-escalation of the noise, according to Mayor. The Prime Minister of St. Vincent has called for mature, respectful, and wise discourse. But what does this mean in practical terms is not clear, says Peeping Tom. The Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines has called for mature, respectful, and wise discourse, says the Peeping Tom. What does this mean in a practical sense? How do you operationalize this? Peeping Tom says this. It's not clear. Not clear. Peeping Tom for you. One of the voices we have on this issue this morning. Marley Lorimer, how are things at your end in BIM? Marlon, I thought you had me on a leash there. Mia's going to the summit as well. Whose side is she on? Coffee done. Whose side is Mia on? Me on the side of the road to be the next UN Secretary General. That is the side that Mia's on. That is the side. That's the side Mia's on this morning. Folks, let's bring you up to date to some of the other things happening in the 592 this morning. Let's bring you up to speed on some of the other things happening in the 592, folks, before we leave you guys, before we let you guys go. Targeted Chinese journalist Travis Chase. Heard him in an interview with his attorney Nigel Hughes. Of course, you know, Hughes, Fields, and Stobie is the best law firm in this country. Right? Travis is a real follow me, you know, because they are my attorneys. He got to run there too. I'm very territorial with my attorneys. Very. Right? And don't worry with Ayana Butts, attorney at law, or Narissa Leander. Please. I will allow you a little leverage with Nigel. Not too much, but a little bit. Travis said the police know more. The police knows more than they're letting on. I don't doubt. It's the Ghana police force we're talking about under Clifton, Hickens, Commissioner of Police acting. I don't doubt. He said they know more. John Jones, Debbie Apple, Dolly Anderson, Orwin. Here is what he told his attorney last evening as roles were reversed and his attorney was interviewing him. Take a listen. Very interesting. Very interesting. You know, a few nights ago, his vehicle came under fire. I saw a headline in the papers. I think it's the same person was asking if I'm an MP or a YouTuber. Both. I wear the badge of a content creator proudly and a YouTuber. Proudly. A letter in this morning's paper. Was Travis Chase attacked in his capacity as a journalist or as a businessman? Or he left home journalist. He went out as a businessman. He left home journalist. He went out as a businessman. So his vehicle came under fire 2 nights ago. This is what he told his attorney. Roles reversed. This is what he told his attorney on the questioning.
Good evening, Mr. Chase.
Hi, Monsieur.
We are a bit of a reversal of roles here. I'm actually interviewing you, the journalist, rather than the other way around. Now, we're outside of the ballistic section of the Ghana Police Force. Can you tell us how you ended up here and what happened?
When I left work this afternoon, I got a phone call from an officer from the East Independence Police Station. He said to me they have 2 suspects in custody and I should head down there to see if I can identify the shooter. I said to that officer that I can't do that because I did not see who shot at my car. He said, okay, I hung up the phone. Then another officer called and he said, they would like to examine my firearm. So I said to him, examine my firearm for what? He said, there's some discrepancy. I said, discrepancies in what? He said, just please come down with the firearm. The lawyer, so my lawyer, Mr. Hughes, came down, and then we came across here to the ballistic section. When we came across here, of course, we were met with the whole red carpet affair of the officers filming us and everything since we got out of the car. And they wanted to conduct ballistics on the weapon, but they wanted to keep the weapon. I think the officer, Mr. Singh, if that's the officer, the senior officer that came in after, he said that we will give the weapon in, they will do the ballistics, and they will hand it back. Now, it's 9:30. They've kept the weapon. They've closed the gates. And I'm left unarmed. I want to say this on record. They know what I know. And I know that it's coming from them. This shooting is coming from the police. And they know what I know. I'm not afraid to say it. But if you're going to disarm me to harm me, that's it. That's all I'll say.
Thank you very much. How do you feel going home tonight without your personal licensed firearm?
I feel very threatened. I don't feel safe at all. And that's a fact. I don't feel safe at all.
And how did sorry to interrupt you for interrupting you. How did you feel being video recorded by officers of the police force, even though you are not a suspect? They expressly said so in my presence. And how do you feel about that?
I mean, I thought that there was a recent ruling where the Chief Justice said that is illegal. But to be very honest with you, I kind of now see how it feels as a journalist recording people. But in all seriousness, that should not be, right? I'm not a suspect. They said that. I'm not a suspect. So why take the firearm if I'm not a suspect? You could simply say to me, okay, bring your firearm in the morning. Let's do ballistics and nothing of the sort. They took it. That's it.
Thank you very much, sir.
Sure thing.
Folks, welcome back. That is journalist Travis Chase saying what has happened since this shooting took place. The police has kept his firearm. Is it me or did Travis say that the shooting came from the police? Did I imagine that, Savita Richards, Margaret Nelson, Marilyn Locke? Did I imagine that? Did Travis say the shooting came from the police? Oh. folks, this is Guyana. It's like the wild, wild west out here. Is it me? Did the journalist say, the police know what happened here? The shooting came from the police. Is it me? Margaret says they're making up laws as they go. Making up laws as they go. Yeah. GRA says it's holding 176 billion in revenue, of which 86.2 billion has come from oil and gas. Where is money going? Where is money going? They said 13 billion for that East Bank new piece. Where is money going? That's what the West wants to know. That's what we want to know. 6.5. What happened to the rest? Naomi, Rastaman, we're making money in this country now. Minting money. But where is it going? It's like they got a money black hole. You know? A money black hole. You know, they say at the rim of the black hole, for the want of a better phrase, word. Rim sounds so crude. You know, it's what they call the event horizon. They said the gravitational pull is so strong there, even light can't escape. I think that's, you have a money black hole in this country. Sucking in now. Friends, family, favorites, and flatterers. Now, see, we're minting money in this country. Where the money going? Where is it going? I know run out. a new and united Guyana. I noticed that Ralph Ramkaran is not on the new leadership. You know, sometimes you got to make way for the young people. Sometimes you got to step aside and let the little boy pass. Anouk says, frowning on this 6.5 salary increase. Good. Step in the right direction. Frowning on this 6.5 is nonsense. All that money we're getting, right? All that money for 6.5. We showed you last evening, St. Kitts and Nevis, 8 across the board, 8%. 8%. And they don't have all the resources we have. They don't have all the resources Ghana has. Look, story here now. Where all the money going? GPL, the Guyana Power and Light Company, it has informed its employees, no Christmas this year. No Christmas party. This is not an account of the Venezuela-Guyana border controversy. It's not an account of that. Maybe if 3 people who run up there run out, because I said I can't say all the ministers who are missing and members of parliament that caused the postponement of today's sitting. I can't say if all of them gone to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. But if 2 of them had stayed in Guyana, from wherever they've run off to, maybe the staff at GPL could get a Christmas party. In other news, GPL is telling us that the generators have come, so we should have a bright Christmas. That's if all goes well in St. Vincent and the Grenadines too. The generators are here. Remember they promised us some generators in the first week they came into power? 2020, they said generators are here now. 2023, 2 weeks into December, said the power is here, but we don't have the money for a staff party. We don't have it. Yep, thoughts and folks. Pray to the folks at GPL. You see? Hope you got a staff who gets so vexed, you're just blacking out everybody. More blackout for South, no staff party. Blackout for Kitty. Blackout for the East Bank. Damn it. Right? It's a bad place not to give a staff party. The broke. So GPL broke. Gaisuko told us recently they couldn't pay staff because they broke. Gaisuko alone got about $1 trillion since this administration came in, shoring up the base. You know, a lot of folks who in that industry support the current government, PPP. Not everybody, but a lot. And it's okay. It's okay. We're all entitled to our own political beliefs and so on. You're entitled to put your vote wherever you want to put it. Even for separation. Gaisuko announced about a week ago, they were broke. So Gaisuko broke, GPL broke. Folks, this is the fastest growing economy. This is a high-income country. You can't want a staff party. Huh? This is the biggest GDP country, wealthiest country on earth. We can't want a staff party because people. There's little Dubai, thanks, Naomi. Yeah. You see, there's fact and then there's fiction. Jesus. You see why the nurses going to UK? You see why? This is why. Before we let you guys go, some of the other issues we're following this morning. 2 Guyanese who were wanted in relation to criminal activities here. Series of offenses. They've been captured in Suriname. Police couldn't capture them, the Surinamese. It took the Surinamese. Thank you. Thank you. Emmanuel B. That's how the name were given in the report. Emmanuel B. and Roman R, sorry. Yep, nabbed in Suriname. 2 off the streets for the season. Good. 2 off the streets for the season. Y'all sharing the live, folks. You're smashing that emoji, but you can partner with that. And then they're telling us this teenager, Ronaldo Henry, called Greg, was crushed to death by a truck he was repairing. And this is in I think this is in Latam. He was under the truck doing some mechanical work when the truck collapsed. Whatever it was on collapsed and pinned him. He was taken to the hospital and later pronounced dead. Succumbed to his injuries at hospital. Ronaldo Henry, another life gone. Right? We have a big country, a wealthy country, very small population. Right? Think about 18 of us here, every day something burns down. Every day a life is lost. So 17 of we now. Ronaldo Henry gone. And then Safia Daniels from Mabaruma, Region 1, is feared dead after boating incident. Safia Daniels. So 18 minus 1, and then another one now. Safia was going from point A to B via boat, and it's being reported that a boat that was passing created such a wash and waves that Greg, as he's called, Mr. Daniels, was thrown overboard. Hasn't surfaced since. Hasn't surfaced since. Yeah. Just left the landing and on his way to another point there in Mabaruma, Region 1. And the boat passing by shook up their boat and he was flung overboard. And that's it. Fear dead. Right? Safia Daniels. And then high praises to the folks down there at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation. A number of surgeries were recently done on children, several successful, and they're telling us that they lost one child. Thoughts and prayers with our family. Thoughts and prayers with our family. No easy day, folks. No easy day. Margaret Nelson, our thoughts and prayers with all these families. You see, that's why we started with the good news. Some of the sites over the East Bank. I think we're going to leave it here, folks. I think we're going to leave it here this morning. Thanks for joining us from the myriad places you guys joined us from this morning. If you're in Guyana, you're in Georgetown, you're heading into the city, folks, looking after some documentation, we want to recommend the Alistair Collins Firm. They're right down there at the Kalian Mall. You know where it is. Kalian Mall. On Lamaha Street, between Camp and Waterloo Street, they're closer to Camp, they're closer to Waterloo than they are to Camp. Kalian Mall in the ground floor, you go in, you ask for them. You head down there now. Might even get a little toast, some coffee, little bacon, eggs. Tell them I send you. Tell them I send you. Right? Might throw in a slice of pumpkin. Pumpkin's $1,000 now a slice. Try it out. Right? For all the documentation needs, 649-6410. 649-6410. 685-6448. 685-6448. And Alistair Collins is such a beautiful soul. Easygoing, understands this kind of work. He has an expert team assisting him there. They look after all your documentation needs. All. So good morning to Alistair and his staff down there at the Alistair Collins Firm. Good morning to you folks. And if y'all got a little juicy piece of story, y'all don't left me out. Don't leave us out. Don't do it. Don't do it, folks. We got the one number, 627-6963. One number, folks. And we crave your indulgence as well to help us to keep going. And this is how we do it. We're not getting no help from the fellow who wants to know whether we are MPs or YouTubers. We ain't getting no help there. We're available, folks, via Cash App and Zelle and PayPal. Help us. We need your help. We need your generosity to keep going. Right? We're not in good shape. So help us if you can. We're going to circulate a very secure link. Look, it's going past you now, in which we can accept credit and debit cards securely. Data is going to be compromised in no way. Folks, help us if you can. So continue to bring you wonderful, beautiful folks, credible and valid information. We will provide Cash App and Zelle, PayPal, MG, MoneyGram, Western Union, and all the other platforms, folks. And of course, that link would help you to help us via your credit and debit cards. You need any guidance? That same number, 627-6963. WhatsApp us there, and we're going to give you any guidance that you need. That's going to do it for us at this end, good folks. Good to see each and every one of you beautiful folks on the live this morning, folks. Good to see you guys on the live this morning. Have a fantastic rest of the day, guys. A fantastic day. Take no prisoners. Take no prisoners. That's going to do it for us at this end. Good to see so many of you on the live this morning. Tony Massacre. Good to see you on the live today. And Yolanda, Debbie, Chisel Chipper. Chisel Chipper. Good to see you. 68. Brenda Moore, Gil Ali Cook, Osmond Hodge, Shawnette, Savita, Deborah Pearson, Edward Brooms. Thank you guys for joining us this morning. Smash that emoji button before you go and share the live as well. That's going to do it for us at this end. Stay safe.